Check one, check 1 2 3 4 5. One, check 1 2 3 4 5. And
Check one, check 1 2 3 4 5.
We can go and stop if you want, because I think there's going to be some. If it's a 7 o'clock start, we still got quite a ways. But
Yeah, they'll start at 7. Yeah.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Full Field on the campus of Cony High School in Augusta, Maine. This homecoming game features the Fryeburg Academy Raiders and your Boomerman! Let's meet the starters for this evening's game. By choice, Fryeburg has chosen to be introduced as an entire team. And so at this time, let's welcome the 2025 Fryeburg Academy Raiders. David Turner, he's assisted by David Jones, Gio DeFazio, Bob Polito, Brian Turner, and Matt Moore. And now, Cony fans, let's stand and greet your defensive starters for the Cony Rams. He's a senior number 6, Bryce Watson. At quarterback, he's a senior number 14, Captain Cooper Clark. At linebacker, he's a senior number 15, Kenny Tibbetts. And outside linebacker, a junior number 16, Landon Perry. And free safety, a junior number 21, Anderson Noyes. And linebacker, a senior number 45, David Fry. And defensive end, a senior number 55, Hayden Bayou. At defensive tackle, a junior number 69, Diesel. At defensive tackle, a senior number 79, Captain Cony King Jones. And at defensive end, a junior number 84, Austin Bucknell. The Cony Rams head coach is Would you all please rise as we honor our great country with the singing of our national anthem. Singing the Star-Spangled Banner this evening are members of the Cony High School Magicals under the direction of Mrs. Laura Whitney. Let's welcome the Magicals.
Greetings and welcome to Fryeburg Academy Raider Football. I'm Rick West, along with guest analyst Matt Berry and videographer Bill Edmonds. We have come to Cony for a battle of the unbeatens, Matt. 4-0, both of these teams. Cony scoring points up the yazoo, and Fryeburg with the inimitable Ty Boone. So it should be an interesting game.
Yeah, two different styles of Cony, a great aerial attack. It's really hard to keep them and they're scoring down. It's going to be a key for the game today for Fryeburg. Can they tackle in space? Can they guard all the weapons that Parker Morin has at quarterback? And, of course, Ty Boone, you mentioned, he's kind of an everything guy for Fryeburg. And it'll be really important for Fryeburg to possess the ball as much as possible.
Correct.
To have success.
I would agree with that assessment. Fryeburg needs to hold on to the ball as long and as often as they can to keep it out of the Cony offense hands.
Yeah, for sure. And Parker can throw it to many different people. He also has a couple of really good running backs. Anderson Noyes, Colton Colby is a sophomore who played really well last week against Oxford Hills. So it's going to be a big challenge for the Fryeburg defense against this high-powered offense.
There's no question that Fryeburg is not the team that won the state championship last year. They do have a lot of parts that came back that were young, that are, gained experience that way, but some of their big bodies are gone, and that has altered the way they can play the game.
Yeah, I'm sure it has, but you have that, when you win that championship, you have a little bit of that confidence and that pedigree of winning. So, that helps Fryeburg to a 4-0 start here, and I'm sure it helps them on the road here to come into Cony on the turf. Cony's really hard to beat here, especially homecoming. So there's a lot of challenges for Fryeburg tonight.
A lot of red and white surrounding us here. And this is the first time that Fryeburg and Cony have played since 1966.
Wow.
I would have been, I'd have been in third grade. Fourth grade,
okay.
Third or fourth grade, yep. Yeah. So it's been a long, long time since these two teams have met on the gridiron.
I would have been -6, so that's that's a long, long time ago.
It is.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate very much you standing in this week, helping me out with Cony. As you well know, football is not the world's easiest sport to broadcast by yourself. There's just too many things you have to watch.
No, for sure. And I'm happy to be here. I'm glad you reached out, and this should be a really good game. I think both teams. Obviously differing styles, but I think that it leads to a really competitive game, I would believe.
Trulis Wenley is set to kick off for the Raiders. And 6 men back deep for Cony. 2 very, 2 mid, and 2 short. Kick lands at the 20 and goes out of bounds around the 11, 12-yard line. So Cony will start at the, 30?
I think it's a 35.
35, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. One thing you don't want to do if you're Fryeburg is to give Cony any type of good field position. They score in bunches. They score quickly. They score through the air. They score on the ground. So it's a real challenge for sure.
Well, first play from scrimmage. Let's see what the Rams can do. Quick out. Trying to get around the end. And does so. Brought down at the Fryeburg 40.
Yeah, see, that right there is Cony on the turf. They have great athletes, good speed, and I believe that's Ethan Demmons outside. He's been just a real force this year. He's actually coming really close to the school record in yards and in touchdowns in the season. Close to 1,200 set by Parker Sargent and 14 touchdowns. He's getting really close to both.
Well, I actually reached out to Parker to see if he wanted to do it when his dad or his grandfather Buddy couldn't. And unfortunately, Parker, who would love to have done it, is coaching some AAU up at Colby.
All right.
Handoff. And Fryeburg in quickly and buries the runner for a loss.
A good play by the interior of the Fryeburg defense. That's something they'll have to do. They'll have to really dominate both lines of scrimmage. They'll have to get some pressure on Morin. They'll have to run, shoot through the running gaps and really make it difficult for Cony on the ground.
So a loss of about 3, second down. Handoff coming our way this time. It is number 21. That is Anderson Noyes. He dives forward, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, it's a good run by Noyes. Noyes is a really good running back, really shifty, also has good speed, hits the hole well there over that left side, and just another part of this attack for Cony. Not only can they pass it, but they can run it too.
So first down for Cony on the Fryeburg 30. Quick out, we've seen this before, and wrapped up and ripped down at about the 28-yard line, gain of 2 on that pass. And it was Trulis Wenley.
Well, that time, the first play of the game, they ran the same play, and they ran it around end for a long gain. This one is covered really well by Fryeburg. That's something they'd like to do, Cony, throw it right along the sideline right away.
Dropping back, rolling towards us, looking, in trouble, throws incomplete. He had 2 targets on that side, and he threw the ball between both of them.
He did. It looked like he had Ethan Demmons, who was wide open, had his hand up, but he's rolling left. He's rolling kind of across the grain. He does that quite a bit with success. He has a very good arm, very accurate arm, but that time just sailed it.
And it looked like at the last moment when he threw, he slipped a little bit,
Yeah,
too.
he did. This turf can get a little, especially if it gets colder, gets a little slippery at times.
Look right over the middle, incomplete. There's the flag, no surprise. Good call by the ref. That was on Robbie Hazelwood.
Yeah, whenever you hook that opposite arm around the hip, you usually get that call every time, and that's what I mean about this Cony offense. That they have speed, they throw it up the seams a lot, and a lot of run after the catch, and it's really hard to guard everyone that they have out there, all the weapons that they have.
The pass was right there, and I think Hazelwood had no choice but to try and wrap him up. But that will make it first and goal. No, I take that back. They can still get a first down inside the 5. So Cony on the march early. Another quick out. And I think he's going to be just short.
Yeah, just short. Looks like about the 2-yard line. Ethan Demmons.
Yep.
Good blocking from the other two receivers. And went trips left, threw it out to Demmons. Really hard to tackle him in space. Tough kid. And he gets down. It looks like it's about the 1-yard line.
Yes. And that is right to Anderson Noyes, and he finds a seam and puts it in. So on their first drive, Cony puts numbers on the board.
Well, Cony shows, just how strong they are offensively. They throw it, they run it with Noyes. Really hard to defend everybody. A very, 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 very good first drive for Cony, going right down the field, 65 yards.
Yeah. This will be Alden Wilkinson to try and put it through. It is up. It is good. So 7-0 Cony Rams over the Fryeburg Raiders very quickly, only 10-12. So a very short period of time, Cony is on the board. Now we get to see how Cony will play defense against the Ty Boone show.
Well, they had some struggles last week against Oxford Hills. Had a big lead, and then some dehydration set in on a hot day. They lost some kids to cramping. Oxford Hills comes all the way back to take a lead, and Cony needs a really good drive at the end to win it. It is something to keep an eye on with Cony throughout the year, is their defense, especially at the line of scrimmage. We'll see if Fryeburg can make some good gains and some chunk plays.
You can see that Fryeburg is not big anywhere. Here's
Right.
the kick. It is away from Boone and is going to be taken at the 2. I'm thinking that should have been left to right where it was.
Well, tricky kick there because it looked like it was going out of bounds.
Yeah.
And it hops up right into Boone's face, and he kind of has to take it. But it's a really good coffin corner type of kick. I don't know if he planned it that way, but it worked out.
Well, he was kicking away from Boone. Boone was
Sure.
on our side.
Yeah.
And Boone was going over hoping he could get to it,
Right.
but no such luck.
Right.
So Wenley had to field it. And now Fryeburg's got a pretty sizable hole to dig themselves out of here from the 9-yard line. 1st and 10 from their own 9. Arneson, handoff, and nothing there. Got maybe a yard out of that to the 10.
Yeah, 79, Bodie King-Jones, a senior, really good interior lineman for Cony, makes the play. They are pretty big up front. Sometimes they can get a little bit out of position. You can run on them some, but straight ahead, really hard to penetrate through that defense.
Yeah, I can see that. Cony's not exactly big up front, but they look like they're fairly quick.
And they spend some time in the weight room. They have a really good weight program here at Cony.
Arneson looking, throwing, complete. And that's going to be very close to a Fryeburg first down, out at about the 19. And they are going to move the sticks.
Yeah, good play from Fryeburg. It's a pass that's on the money. Some good blocking out in front and a really good gain, almost like a run play, really low risk play on the pass, and able to get some open space.
I think they're going to have to do a lot of that tonight to try and gain some yardage that they are not going to gain any other way.
Right.
Carter sets up bottom of your screen, and a bad snap.
Oh,
And
quick whistle there.
Very quick whistle. I don't think Arneson was even down yet.
I don't know if he had the ball. He was kind of scrambling for it, and then the ball squirted out right after the whistle.
It has been a Fryeburg weakness over the years, snapping.
Yeah.
And once in a while, it seems to rear its ugly head. This is not the first time this year the exchange has not gone cleanly.
Yeah, that's one underappreciated thing about Cony is that they do a lot of shotgun, and their center does a really good job with the snapping.
Handoff. This is Boone. Boone. And he picks up, looked like about 8.
Yeah, Coach Lippert for Cony wasn't very happy with the officiating there. Might have thought there was a hold toward the outside, but that was a really good run by Boone and some good blocking, it seemed, from here to hit that hole.
So he does gain, he gained about 9. They give him an extra yard there, so it's 3rd and 1. In addition to being blazingly fast, Ty Boone is also very, very agile laterally. He moves sideways incredibly quickly. You can think you've got him wrapped up when all of a sudden he's just not there.
Yeah, sometimes it's one thing, one way or the other, right? But in this case, that's a really good quality to have.
But he does play both sides of the ball, and that wears you out over the course of time.
These are long games, physical games, and he has the ball a lot, chases down the ball a lot, so he's in on all the plays, really.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
I'm sure.
Good kid.
It's always good to see highly competitive kids these days.
And he is very competitive. That's one thing that Fryeburg, over the past 4 to 6 years, their football program has grown and matured from having sometimes only 21, 22 kids, just barely able to field a team.
Right.
Though there was never any question of going to 8-man. They were going to play 11-man football. Man in motion is Boone, but it's a reverse. And short gain may be enough. We'll see.
Misdirection play there, and Cony read it perfectly in the interior. It looks like he is short.
Yeah, I agree. So it's 4th down now. Coach Turner's got a big decision to make here. They're really a little too deep to want to go on 4th down to give potentially the ball to Cony in that tight.
Yeah,
on the other hand,
you certainly don't want to give them this type of field position.
No, but on the other hand, you need to keep that football and move it downfield, and they are going to go for it. And I don't think they got it.
Didn't look like it.
I think they were denied. Fryeburg tries to go right up the middle and does not make it.
Interesting that a couple of plays earlier, they got stuffed up the middle, and then to go to that play call again was an interesting call. But Austin Bucknam, 84, makes a really good play in the backfield.
I was looking for something off tackle there, just to find a split seam for that 1 yard.
Right.
So Fryeburg will now go on defense again against the high-powered Ram offense. Morin looking, throwing deep to the end zone. Knocked away at the last second. Looked like a good, clean play, too. Good timing.
Really good coverage and some good closing speed there by the defensive back. There was a step there for Demmons, I believe. And he had a step, and pass was a little short, but a really good play to knock it away.
That was Nomar Feliz knocking that away at the very last second. Perfect throw.
Yeah, it was a really good play and a great defensive play.
Handoff. And around the end, picks up some good yardage. Fryeburg did not get their line moving down the line quickly that time, opening up a corner.
Cony loves to run over that left side, and Colton Colby on that carry, a sophomore, had a big fourth quarter last week against Oxford Hills to really save them from losing that game, and that was a good run from Colby again.
So 1st down. Quick pass by Morin, and it is tipped away.
Ben Hankey, 6'5", receiver and basketball player, good athlete. Parker Moran loves to throw it up to him a lot. That one had a little bit of mustard on it, though.
Yeah.
Right through his hands.
Yeah, for such a short pass, that was awfully hard.
That was hard, yeah.
Second down. Handoff, cuts to the seam, and a great tackle by a linebacker coming across. I think that was Carter that came across and took him down. It was Noyes on the carry. Looked like he had a big seam there for a moment, and all of a sudden Carter just closed it.
It did. It was a really good cut inside by Colby, and then, as you said, Carter really closed the space, made a great play, had a great angle, made the tackle.
Gain of about 4 on that, so it's 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Little dump pass. Noyes, he's right there, and he is in. So Cony, again, quickly on the scoreboard here in the first quarter with 6:05 left, put another 6 on. And this is all the result of Fryeburg going for a 4th and 1 and not making it.
Yeah, we talked about it before the play happened, whether or not you should do it. And, hey, when you're on the road against a really good team, scores a lot of points, you probably figure, like you said, you have to possess it. So they go for it on 4th down, just didn't execute.
Wilkinson puts it up and through the uprights. So 14-0 for the Cony Rams. And everything we have heard about them appears to be very true.
It is. I mean, they're well coached. They have good execution most of the time. That was a middle screen, kind of opened the gate, let the defensive lineman in, dumped it over the middle, good blocking on the backside, and Anderson Noyes is hard to tackle in space.
Perfect night for football here in the state capitol. Clear skies, big moon. As usual, Wenley and Boone are back deep. This time Wenley and Boone have switched sides. And that's a big, long boot that's going to go into the end zone and out the back side of it. So they are doing a good job keeping the ball away from Boone on kickoffs where he is so dangerous.
Yeah, two well-executed kicks. That one was a really good kick for a high school kicker.
That was
into the end zone.
A lot of distance on that. I knew it was in the end zone the minute he put the foot into it.
Yeah.
So they will start on their own 20. Fryeburg needs to answer some points here quickly, or I think it's going to be a long night.
Well, they definitely need a long possession. You'd love to possess the ball, at least for the rest of the first quarter. Take a deep breath, gain some yardage and get some positive plays.
Wenley was in motion and maybe a little bit too much.
Oh, they had to delay a game. Looks like the clock expired.
That's the kind of penalty that you look back and say, ouch.
Yeah, can't have those. I mean, that's just a mental mistake. Can't have those.
So 1st and 15 here. Fryeburg comes set. Arneson complete. And that is Hazelwood. Hazelwood all the way down to the Cony 40.
Good little play there. That's a little slant that comes across the middle. The coverage wasn't exactly there. The pass was on the money, in stride. And then a couple of good moves to get some space toward the outside. And a big game is exactly what Fryeburg needed.
You cut that right. I think I caught out of the corner of my eye 2 guys on Ty Boone on this side of the field, which could explain why he was open to catch that pass.
Well, look for a big game from Hazelwood if that continues. Because
exactly. You could be right. And Robbie's that kind of kid. He can give you a good game. He's just a little overshadowed. Delay handoff, Wenley. And Wenley picks up some decent yards on the ground after finding a little bit of a seam.
Cony doing a good job stretching that play out. The lineman going down the line with the ball carrier. It wasn't a lot of room there, and a little bit of tiptoeing to get to the line of scrimmage, slowed down the play. Cony makes the play.
2nd and 6. So Fryeburg's deepest penetration so far into Cony territory. Arneson with Wenley in the backfield. Arneson to the air and incomplete. And it was Hazelwood that was the intended receiver. I thought so.
Yeah, it looked like the same play they had the big gainer on. This time it was well covered and the pass was behind him.
So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Raiders.
I would imagine at some point here they try to get the ball back in Boone's hand at either a reverse or try to get him in the backfield or something, try to get him to make a play.
Well, he's got it right now, and there he goes, spinning away from a tackle, turning upfield, and he's going to be very close to the first down. You can see what I mean by slippery.
Absolutely. I mean, that play looked like
There's
it had nothing going on.
Flag late.
Over near the bench.
It was well after the play was over.
Well, picking up the flag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nobody comes to a football game to see the refs throw flags.
No, and they've decided properly this time.
Yep, I agree. So he didn't make it. It is 4th and about 2.
Boone really made something out of nothing there. It was a real stalled-out play, and as you said, slippery. Gets to the outside and then dives forward. Great play.
He looked like he was wrapped up in the backfield initially. So the Raiders need 2. To the air. Complete. They've got their 2.
Ooh.
Big-time catch by Ted Carter. That's the kind of play Fryeburg needs.
Absolutely. The throw was a little bit out wide. He makes a really nice catch and then gathers himself, makes sure he gets the first down a little bit more, and has to be gang tackled to come down.
Yeah, he had to come back for that just a little bit and catch it almost flat-footed. But the Raiders are on the move. They're inside the red zone on the 19. We're actually seeing a Fryeburg offense I have not seen yet this year.
Interesting.
Wenley cutting and might have picked up a yard before he was buried by a red wave.
It's been tough going between the tackles so far for Fryeburg. Cony's doing a good job of blocking up the holes in pursuit of the football, and in that play, just a little bit of yardage to gain, and everything that Fryeburg's been able to do has either been a little bit down the field or out toward the sidelines.
Second-year quarterback, Benny Arneson, coming in. He's got the play call from Coach Turner. He's got Wenley in the backfield with him. Ball low on the snap. There's the catch. Oh! That was a catch and run. Unfortunately, it was a run and catch, and they didn't catch it.
Yeah. Well, the drop on the snap and the low snap kind of broke up the play.
Yeah, it changed the timing.
It did. And then you have a dangerous play. Now you're throwing it out where the defensive backs are coming up, knowing the play, coming up to the line of scrimmage, and that can be picked off going the other way.
And there was nothing there that would have stopped even an average running linebacker from getting down there.
No.
Looking and sacked. That was very quick. I think somebody on the front line of Fryeburg missed an assignment.
Yeah, it was Austin Burnham who came in 84, untouched, right off the right-hand side of the defense toward the left of the quarterback. And there was nothing he could do.
No.
I mean, it was just, he saw it at the last minute, and it was a really good play for Burnham.
So, loss of 7, and Fryeburg back on the 25 of the Rams. That makes it 4th down, and Fryeburg's going to go for the field goal. I'm not overly surprised because Ted Carter does have this kind of range. High snap. Kick is going to be well wide. The snap, again, was not where it needed to be for a long field goal. It has to be perfect, and it wasn't.
No, it was actually a good hold just to get it down. It was way over the holder's head.
Yeah, Boone got it down.
He did. He got it down. It was a good athletic play from him, but it threw off the timing.
It looked like Carter had to stutter step just a bit.
He did. But you're right. That was quite. He still booted it, in through the end zone. He has a good leg on him. And that was 42 yards, and that's no joke right there.
He's hit a few long ones so far this year. So back to the defense are the Raiders, and Cony does what they do best. They play offense. A lot of discussion here, and I think we're going to have a Cony timeout. Or is it an official's timeout?
I'm not sure why the ball's at the 20. I thought it was at the 25 on the snap.
It was at the 25 on the snap. Maybe it's a part of the field goal rule. If you go for the field goal, if some of you gain 5 yards, that would be an obscure high school rule I could believe exists. Ball's on the ground. Moore picks it up, looking, now running out, and quickly gets it away, complete. That is number 5, Ben Hankey.
Yeah, Hankey is a tall receiver, good athlete. Morin looks for something else. Hankey was standing by himself for quite a while.
Yeah.
And he finally threw it to him, and then Hankey makes a really good run after the catch.
The thing I like that I've seen so far from Morin is very calm under pressure.
He is, and he's
very
elusive.
calm.
He's a great athlete. He's actually a really unique athlete. Good basketball player, good baseball player. Just one of those real pure athletes.
Handoff up the middle. There's a flag in the kind of location you might expect to see offensive holding. And it is going to be against the Rams. So that's marked off and goes all the way back to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 20 from the 30.
Well, typically, 1st and 20 in a high school team would be a lot to gain.
Yeah.
But this team can pick up big yardage.
I was just about to, we were thinking the same thing. I was just thinking the same thing. I don't think they care whether it's 1st and 10 or 1st and 20. Trying to get outside, and nothing doing this time as Noyes is wrapped up before he can make a turn. No gain.
Great job in pursuit by Fryeburg. I mean, they really strung that play out, and now they get a loss of yardage in that play. So now just going backwards for Cony. And, Fryeburg's getting some momentum. They missed the field goal, but they did have a good drive, and they're starting to get a little bit of rhythm.
Well, I didn't get to talk to any of the kids or the coaches this week, so I don't know what the mood was, but my guess is probably pretty good. And here's Noyes again. Noyes is taken down. Ty Boone, open field tackle.
Heck of a tackle by Boone. I mean, Noyes is really hard to take down in space by one guy, and Boone makes that tackle. And if he doesn't make that tackle, God knows where Noyes is going.
I didn't see another white jersey within
that would have
5
been a big
yards.
One. Yeah.
So, decent pickup, about 13 yards, so it's 3rd and 9. Morin throws right down the middle, complete. at the 35-yard line and falling deep at the 37. The 33.
Now it was Noyes again. This time out on a route, and he goes right up the seam. Moore makes a good pass. It was a good catch by Noyes. Had it on his hip.
It was a little behind him, and you're right. He did a great job holding that to his body and controlling it.
He did.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Fuller Field, home of the Cony Rams in Augusta. And they hold a 14-0 lead over the Fryeburg Raiders. You know, we have to remember, though, these are two unbeaten football teams, and you don't get to 4-0 by not having some talent and the ability to win football games.
Sure, and some good coaching and just, good program, and, both good programs, both good coaching staffs. And as you said, Fryeburg won it last year, and Cony has been inching its way closer and closer to a state title as well. So these are two good teams, and I'm sure the kids are amped up, undefeated teams. And I'm sure that Fryeburg hears a lot about Cony and how much they score.
We have this year because, we never even gave them a thought until this year because they weren't anything we were ever going to play or see.
Sure.
But the MPA really changed up things this year, and I first saw that schedule, and I was seeing of all the teams Fryeburg played regular season, we'd only seen one of them in the last few years.
And quite a bit of travel. That's just a long ride.
Tell me about it. So, 1st and 10 for the Rams. Morin looking low and deep. He's got a man. Touchdown. Pete Bruno was on the coverage, and I don't know if he saw the ball coming. It didn't look to me like he ever turned and looked for the football.
I think that was the thing. He had really good coverage, and I think he had better coverage than he thought.
Yeah, I agree.
And he just didn't look back, and it was a really good throw dropped in there for the touchdown.
So, going for the single extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is good. Some happy Cony kids out on the end of the end zone, getting that kick into them.
Well, like we said, Cony scores in bunches, scores a lot of points, and you have to kind of manage that if you're Fryeburg. And this is kind of the start that you feared for this game. Just a couple of minutes into the second quarter and down 3 touchdowns.
So 21-0 now for Cony. Fryeburg is finding itself in a position it has not found itself in over 2 years. So this is definitely different.
Wow.
Even for some of the experienced players.
Right. Well, the coaching staff will learn a little bit something about their young players. I mean, this is a good learning experience, and the coaches will be able to see what they have in this team.
Big-time boot and into the end zone. Boone lets it go. If he'd taken it, he would have been probably on the 1. And, smart player. I take that back. It was Wenley, and Boone was on the other side. So Wenley did a good job not taking that.
Well, like you said, Cony's done a great job keeping the ball away from Boone on the kickoffs. 3 great kickoffs for them. Doesn't give Fryeburg much field position at all.
We'll see if the Raiders can answer with some points of their own on this drive here in the second. First and 10, man in motion. Quick throw, complete. And out to the 30-yard line is Carter.
Good little play there. I mean, that's just a little in cut. Ball's on the money, and it picks you up, looks like 10 yards. Yeah, first down.
That, I think, is exactly the kind of play Fryeburg needs to just keep working. Now, granted, you can only work a play so many times before it backfires. But they need to be able to pick up some chunk yardage like that.
They do. In other ways other than Boone. And they've done it a little bit here.
Yeah, they really have. They have not utilized Boone's offensive skills much yet. That was number 24, Mika Stanza. He's probably the biggest physical back that we have.
Right.
He's more of the fullback type.
It's been tough going in the middle of the Cony defense. And they have some muscle in there and make it difficult to run up the middle and through the gaps.
Fryeburg coming to the line. 2nd and 8 for the Raiders. 4 wide outs. Arneson almost got picked off by number 14, Cooper Clark, and he was looking at the end zone, just couldn't hold on to the football.
It was close. Clark is an excellent ice hockey player, and he decided to play football this year. And on this play, it looks like Cony is starting to see what Fryeburg's trying to do at the line of scrimmage, and they're starting to cheat it a little bit.
Got a Fryeburg Raider down. He's sitting, working either the ankle or the knee. I can't quite catch the number as the trainer is betwixt and between my eyes and his number.
It's either 60 or 80.
Maybe 60.
Could be Zane Tully,
Zane
number
Tully,
60.
60. Yeah, that's who it is, yeah. Looks like he's got
He
a
would
little
be
bit
a big loss because he's one of the
Yeah.
bigger kids that we have.
Yeah. That'll be tough to lose on that line.
Well, he decided to forego the help, so he's going off under his own power.
Good for him. It's tough.
Gets a little hand here from the Cony fans.
Looked like he got rolled up on, but he's starting to walk a little bit better. Maybe they can get him back on the field.
I vaguely remember he was down and hurt for a short time last week as well. So 3rd and 8. Arneson lets it go. Carter complete, but it's not enough for a first down. He is short by about 1.5 yards. So the coaching staff is going to have another tough decision to make. Last time it didn't work and it cost them points.
Well, at this point, I think you go again. I mean, you really need to possess the ball. You really need some points here, and I think close to the 40-yard line. I think you do it.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and it appears that we're going to be wrong. They're going to punt. So it's Trulis Wenley who's going to try and put it deep. Just as we used our combined football knowledge to say we're going,
Uh-oh.
Blocked.
Yep.
And into the end zone.
Yeah.
I think it's Demons.
Yeah, Demons takes it in. Blocked by Caden Vayu, the senior. Came right up through the left side. Looked to be untouched and took it right off the foot of the punter.
The play developed kind of slowly for a punt. It seemed like the ball took forever to get from the snapper to the punter.
You're right. Yeah, it seems slow developing, and it's unfortunate because we just talked about going for it, and now you probably wish you had that decision back.
Yep, you're right. Still, I wouldn't want to be a coach for anything. I was a baseball coach for about 10 years, and no, you couldn't pay me.
Yeah.
And we got offside against Fryeburg, I think.
Well, I've been a basketball coach for 30, and I'm probably close to getting done.
Well, I decided when my uniform wasn't as dirty as the kids I was coaching at the end of a practice, I needed to hang it up because I can't stand there and say, you do this, do this.
Right.
I'm a show-'em guy.
Right. True.
And I'm gotten way too old to show them how to do that.
I hear you.
So I believe that'll be half the distance.
Right. So now it's kind of a decision, I would
Yeah.
think, for Cony to go for 2, but it looks like they're going to kick it anyway. Yeah, there you go.
And it is picked off in the end zone. Believe that might have been Stanza picking it off. So they did go for the 2, as you suggested they might. A little bit of a surprise play there, but goes for naught.
Yeah, they tried the fake extra point and throw it over the middle, and it was right to the defender for the interception. So it was Drew Lundquist, the sophomore holder, made the throw.
You could see who he was going to. Unfortunately, there was at least 2 Raiders in between he and the receiver.
Right.
So Cony will be happy with their 27-0 lead with 9:37 left here in the first half. Another big boot and into the end zone. Wenley and Boone again kept from getting to the football and using their speed to get outside and find holes.
I mean, that's 4 kickoffs, and that's 3 that haven't been returned, and then 1 that had the very short return.
Yep.
So they've done a really good job with that.
And that one probably shouldn't have been returned.
Right.
So the Raiders will start from the 20. Spread the field wide. Arneson throws, and pass is too far ahead of Carter.
Carter's been a good target for him early on here, and that time there were 5 Cony defenders right around him. Really had to thread the needle, and it was just a little bit off.
He's seeing a few more attempts his way than normal. I will certainly say that.
Fryeburg seems to be throwing the ball more than I had anticipated.
And more than I anticipated as well. Arneson is sacked. Number 84, that is Austin Bucknam.
Bucknam's had 3 or 4 really good plays. He's had a good night for himself, and that's a big-time sack. I think it's the 2nd sack of the night, and he's been largely unblocked on that side of the field. It makes a really good play there, and now it's a long 3rd down.
Yeah. Low snap again. Arneson throws it deep. He's looking for Boone, and it is knocked away at the 45-yard line. Good throw. That's about as far as Benny Arneson can throw a football.
That was a good throw. I mean, that was right there, but it was just well defended, and Cony did a really good job of knocking the ball away.
Yeah, it was Boone, intended receiver, and he was double covered over there. So punting from the end zone. Good snap. And it was touched. Takes a roll at the 50. And down at the 46-yard line. That was Cooper Clark picking it up. But I think that was touched.
It looked like it was touched, or it was rushed. Either one. I mean, there was some more pressure again.
Yep.
Last time they blocked it. This time was close again. If it wasn't touched, then it was a hurried line drive.
Yeah, and at least he got it away.
He did.
So from the Fryeburg 45, all right, let's move it and put it on the 44. Missed tackle in the backfield. And fortunately, the Raiders were able to recover, but they had Noyes wrapped up for about a 5-yard loss, and he slipped away.
Yeah, it could have been a loss for sure. He did well just to get back to, looks like, the line of scrimmage anyway.
Yep.
But that's the type of play you got to make right now. You've got to pick up some tackles for loss, maybe a turnover. You need something for Fryeburg to give you some momentum heading into halftime.
Wide field for Cony. Dropping straight back, looking, Morin throws, and incomplete. Good defense there.
Yeah, really good coverage along the sideline. It was a really good throw. I don't think Clark picked it up until the last minute, but it looked like it was right, pretty much right there along the sideline. Good touch throw, but good coverage from Fryeburg. It's really hard to face a team like Cony because you can't simulate this kind of passing attack in practice. So you don't really see this type of stuff. So it's really hard to, like I said, to guard everybody.
Morin, quick out, hits his man. A big hole. A good block. And a score. And the Cony faithful are feeling pretty good here tonight.
Cony might be one of the best, if not the best, screen teams in the state. I mean, they run great screen plays along the sideline, over the middle, delay screens, and they do a really good job as a coaching staff designing it and executing it, and that was a great play.
It was perfect. Ball is down, kick is up. It is good. That was as close as he's come to missing. It was inside the goalpost, but a little on the close side. But he'll take it. If it goes between them, it doesn't matter where. 34-0 with 7:51 left. Buddy Surgeon
pretty
working
sure that touchdown was Anderson St. Ange, who was actually the feature back last year, number 7. And has kind of lost that job to Anderson Noyes, but St. Ange, the senior, went in, I think, on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was texting with the clock man here earlier, Buddy Surgeon, and I said I thought that Cony was going to win by probably about 27 points.
Yeah.
Right now, it's looking like I may be taking the under.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a high-powered offense. It's hard to practice for. It's hard to prepare for. Parker Morin's one of the best, if not the best, quarterbacks in the state. They have excellent weapons all over the place. And tonight, their defense is playing the best I think they've seen them play, too, which doesn't help things at all.
Oh, it's clear they're up for this game.
Sure.
No question about that. The boot. Short this time, and I believe that is Boone. Boone finds a hole. There's a flag.
Yeah.
And Boone out over the 35, but there's a flag. This is going to come back. I'm sure that's going to be a hold on Fryeburg.
That's really unfortunate because it's well away from the play on the other sideline. It looked like it was Micah Stantz, 24, I think. They got into a little bit of a wrestling match and was called for the penalty.
And those are the things that Fryeburg just cannot afford because they need every yard on the field that they can get.
Oh, for sure.
So they will be starting this drive from their own 24-yard line when they would have been out near the 40. Fryeburg coming to the line. 3 wide outs. And nothing doing. Loss of a couple. Maybe
again, they're getting good penetration in there in the middle of the line, and it's really hard for Fryeburg to move them.
So that is a loss of about 4. Arneson in trouble again. Throws it deep. He's got Boone. And looks like it's going to be a catch at the Cony 40.
What a throw. Under duress.
Under duress and on the move. That's
great throw.
That's about as good as Benny Arneson gets.
Man.
I am very impressed with his athletic ability there on the run. They generally do not have him throwing deep like that.
Well, they might want to start.
You're right.
That was a dime, like right along the sideline, and it really dropped it in between two defenders. It was a great catch as well, looking back toward the ball, and that's not hard. That's not easy to do. Good play.
So 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the Cony 39. Another quick pass, and this is to Carter. It's complete. Carter cuts, and he is down to about the 10.
They've run 2 or 3 slants tonight that have been effective. You know, they've run Carter across the middle a couple of times, and they've been able to hit it for some pretty good gains. So, you know, that's something to look forward to, I guess, in the second half, is to try to throw the ball over the middle some.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because Fryeburg seems to be very good at going into the halftime and adjusting. That is something that they have done all year long. I don't know how you adjust against this Cony team, though.
Well, yeah, it's hard.
Ball on the ground, and Arneson just slides
good
down.
Idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, again, the majority of the snaps have been at his feet. He's done a good job for the most part, being able to catch and get his eyes up, but this time just couldn't handle it.
So a loss of 5, but it beats losing the football.
Sure, yeah. I think at 35-point lead, you start the running time rule in high school football.
I agree, but I don't think they can do it until the second half.
Right.
Arneson looking, throwing to the corner. Hazelwood,
nice.
Touchdown. Robbie Hazelwood reached out and got that ball. So the Raiders get on the scoreboard as we hit the 5-minute mark left in the half.
Hazelwood's had some good moments here. That's a nice catch, nice route. He just beats the defender toward the corner of the end zone, and nice pass.
Yep,
and it's there. It's a much-needed touchdown.
Oh. This will be Carter on the extra point attempt with Boone to hold. Ball is down, kick is up, it is good. So 34-7 now as the Raiders do get on the board. And that was, as you said, a much-needed touchdown.
It was, and it was directed by the quarterback. I mean, he made some really good throws on that drive, and they executed the way they needed to get some points on the board before half.
I'm very impressed with the play of Arneson tonight.
For sure. I mean, he's made some great throws. Timing's been good.
And long throws, too, which is something he does not generally do.
Right.
He's been the quarterback for a couple of years now, though Fryeburg does have a Wildcat set that they use a lot in the second half with Boone as the direct snapper.
That makes sense. You probably see that some in the second half.
Line drive bouncing kick, and takes a funny bounce at the 5. Brought out. This is number 22, and he gets out to about the 26-yard line. Colton Colby?
Colton Colby, sophomore, running back. That was a heck of a one-handed catch off the bounce.
Yeah.
To avoid the end zone, and then he makes a nice return. He had a really good week last week against Oxford Hills when a couple of the running backs went down. He picked up the slack, had about 50 yards rushing in the second half, and he's been doing well for them.
Well, he got the ball out to the 27-yard line, so it would have been at the 20 if it goes by him. So he picked up 7 yards out of it. And Morin really was in trouble and under pressure for the first time tonight. He had to get that away.
Well, you're right. That was the first time, really, that they've been able to get into his vision, into his face, and had to make a last-chance gasp at just getting the ball in the air. Need more of that from Fryeburg in the second half if you're looking to get back into the game. Now, look, last week Cony was up 28-0, lost the lead. So it has happened.
That's amazing. Now, I know Oxford Hills is a powerhouse, but still. Morin dropping, straight drop, throws. He's got a man. I think it's complete, yes.
Wow.
That'll be Ben Hankey holding onto the football. Boone was the defender.
I mean, that was excellent coverage. And the only reason why Ben catches this ball, I think, is because he's 6'5".
I think you're right.
And can get his arms up, but he also catches it and is able to hold on to it through a wrestling match for another 10 yards. Great play. Great pass.
So 1st and 10, Morin again to the air, again pressured, throws complete at the 10. That was Noise.
Is it Noise? And he's limping. It looks like Colby's going to come in for him. He spent a couple extra seconds on the ground. He is limping off now along the sideline. Look to return an ankle.
Morin's got his play. Yeah, he is definitely hobbling a little bit as he comes to the sidelines. He'd be a big loss, and now he goes right down to the ground. Handoff. And came up short, not by much.
Not by much at all. There was a wide open space over on that left side.
And that was Colton Colby. You said he's a sophomore?
He's a sophomore. They have the luxury of being able to sub him in. Noyes got hurt last week, missed some time, and Colby came in, and that's a real luxury to have.
And it looks like Noyes is going to miss some time here as he's down on his back on the sidelines. Again, Colton Colby, and he's in untouched.
Well, great response from Cony. They come right down the field, make that big, long play to Ben Hankey, and then Colby takes it in for the score.
They are a machine.
They are. They score a ton of points. It's just hard. You just can't outscore them. I mean, you can move it on them some, and like they did last drive for Fryeburg didn't score. But, in the grand scheme of things, Cony just scores a bunch of points.
And we've got somebody down at the goal line. I cannot even see if it's a Cony player or a –
Yeah, it looks like Cony.
Okay.
Looks like it's Demons 3. That would be a huge loss.
Yeah, it is number 3, and he is being helped up.
Oh, man. That's a big-time loss for them.
So we've got Noise on his back on the sidelines being worked on, and Demons hobbling off, and he's hobbling worse than Noise was.
He is. He's not putting a lot of pressure on that, and I know Ethan, and he is one tough kid. So for him to be limping like that, he must be really injured.
That's not something you see every day. 2 quality players both down on their backs on the sidelines.
Yeah, Coach Lippert's over there. He's a little bit concerned. I mean, there's still a chunk of schedule left in the season.
So going for the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. And it is good again. And that'll take it to 41-7. Cony rolling right now over the Raiders.
Well, with 3:10 left, Fryeburg really needs a good drive here. Try to get some points, go into halftime, regroup, like you said they do quite often, and it makes some adjustments and see what you can do in the second half. Have a good third quarter and go from there.
Well, unfortunately for the Rams, if their best players keep dropping like
right.
this.
Well, that's what happened last week. And then they ended up losing the lead and then survived at the end. So, stranger things have happened.
Wilkinson set to kick it off. He's a big boy for a kicker, isn't he?
He's a big boy.
And he puts the foot into it. And it's going to be a bounce. Wenley picks it up, has to curl around for it, finds a seam, gets outside, and Wenley is out to about the 40. And no flags on the play, so Fryeburg will get pretty good field position to start this drive with 3:04 left, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. Cony has 3. Raiders, long time in the huddle.
Well, this could be Arneson's chance to set some records for himself passing. Just keep throwing it.
Another low snap, gets the ball outside to Wenley. Wenley pushes off a blocker and gets a nice run out to over the 50. That's very close to a first down.
Good old-fashioned stiff arm. Get you some space, and he gets close to that first down.
As you say, stiff arm, and it was the only way he was going to get that blocker off him. So 4 wideouts for the Raiders, 2 top, 2 bottom, and somebody moved.
Oh, that's a killer. That's a killer. You're at 2nd and 1. The playbook's wide open for any type of play. You're at the 50-yard line, and then you move, and it's 2nd and 6. That's a tough one.
As you say, 2nd and 6, and that's the kind of penalty that coaches just rip their hair out.
They do. I mean, that's just an unforced error.
Low snap again. Arneson throws, and it bounces. Oh, we got a flag.
Wow.
Carter went up for it. I didn't see anything that looked particularly.
I didn't see anything either.
I'll be watching the replay I have here in front of me. But I did not see anything that really Oh, there's another flag.
Yeah.
And when flags come out like that, you might think unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, you might think there have been some words said.
All right, I'm looking at the replay right now.
Unless he grabbed
his
his sleeve or something, or jersey.
Yeah.
I didn't see much there.
I didn't either. We'll see what the final decision is here. They've picked up the flags, and the Raiders will have the ball at the 30-yard. No, they're going to move it even further. That must be on the secondary penalty. The ball is at the 25. So that's a big chunk for the Raiders right there. 2:02 left here. Arneson to the air. Missed Hazelwood. Hazelwood was coming across. He was well covered, but he did have the ball in front of him.
He did. Now Cony's starting to seek out that slant play, so you want to be careful that they don't jump it and pick it off the other way.
I actually like what I'm seeing from the Fryeburg offense tonight. Compared to what we've seen earlier this year, they are expanding their playbook, which I think is important, particularly as you get near the playoffs.
Carter and Hazelwood have made some good catches, run some good routes. I mean, if you can add those guys to Boone, then you have something.
Exactly. Good snap. Arneson, hard throw, a little too hard in front of Hazelwood.
Yeah, he had him. He just overthrew it, let it sail a little bit. Hazelwood had beaten Colton Colby, I think it is, over the middle, and had it.
The two previously wounded Warriors for the Rams are both sitting on the bench down there. They're not standing on the sidelines. Raiders know what they want to do. Arneson looking, throwing to the corner, and it's picked off. Headed down the field, and out of bounds about the 40-yard line. That was Hankey.
Hankey playing safety, which I haven't seen him play a ton of it, but he was just waiting in the weeds for that pass.
Well, they had Boone double covered right there at the goal line, and Hankey just stepped up when the ball seemed to sort of fade downwards. And he had nobody to stop him for the next 35, 40 yards.
You know, Coach Lippert has the luxury of having some really versatile players. He can put Hankey in on the defensive end. He can put him at free safety. He could put Ethan Demmons two ways.
And he's a big, tall kid, too.
He's tall, 6'5". I mean, long, athletic.
So Cony with the football. Hard up the middle and breaking through the line. That is St. Ange.
We talked about it earlier. St. Ange was the feature back for this team last season, and Anderson Noyes has actually taken over that spot, and you can see here that the experience that St. Ange has running it, that's a great run.
That was a great run. He saw a seam, he sidestepped into it, and picked up about 15 yards, maybe a little more. 1st and 10 with 1:17. Clock is ticking. St. Ange again. And again he finds a seam and dives over the Fryeburg 30 to about the 27.
You lose Anderson Noyes, and then you can put Anderson St. Ange in. You can put Colton Colby in. There's just too many weapons.
I agree with you. They're just, I haven't noticed the difference really between the first line and the second line. And a catch, but he's down. That was number 11 for the Rams, LaSalle, Ian LaSalle.
Nice catch by LaSalle. Was on near the ground. He's able to make the catch.
Yeah, he was all by himself, but he was already on the ground to get the football. Under a minute. Oh! Somebody's going to want that one back.
Yeah.
St. Ange.
Yeah, St. Ange had it, and he had space. And that was that little middle screen thing again. They ran for a touchdown earlier, and there was so much space there when he dropped it.
That's the kind you see when you go to bed at night and say, oh, I should have had that. I could have been the hero. 3 wide outs for Cony, all to the top and 1 at the bottom. And headed downfield and all by himself is Cooper Clark.
Yeah, Clark just beat his man along the sideline. Nice throw on the money. And again, I mean, we've seen multiple guys score touchdowns, multiple players make big plays. Just a lot coming at you.
I would have to say right now that Cony is the class of all Class B, without question.
So.
Kick is up. So. Kick is no good. Wide to the right.
There are a lot of teams that Cony could beat in Class A too, probably.
I don't doubt it.
They would really compete to be the best team in the state.
I've always liked the idea of continuing the playoffs after you win a divisional championship.
Let's play
Go for the state.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
And I think the kids would be all for it, too.
The kids would love it. And you get a big crowd there. It would be really good for the state.
But I agree with you. There's probably a lot of teams in upper divisions that would have real trouble with this Cony club.
They would.
I'll tell you who they remind me of, and I don't know if you go this far back, is Mountain Valley back about 15, 20 years ago when they were such a beast. and they had endless weapons, and you just couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
Foots into it. Good boot. On the run. That's Boone. And taken down nicely. That is LaSalle.
Yeah, Ian LaSalle made a really nice play in the open field there. He had a head of steam, the returner did. And he was able to stop him short and take him down all in one swoop. It's a good special teams play.
So 30.7 seconds left here in the half. Fryeburg will have a very short time to move, about 55 yards. Make that 65 yards.
Well, Anderson's shown the ability to throw it 30, 40, 50 yards,
Which is something we have not seen a lot of in the last couple of years. And we've got a timeout. And I believe it was Cony that took that one.
Man, Coach Lippert, maybe a little bit concerned. Let's not do something, fall asleep, give up a big play. As a coach, when you're in this type of situation, it's a big margin game. You don't want your team to fall asleep and do the things. You want to keep competing like you practice. You want to keep competing like you've been taught. And you don't want to lose the integrity of the game. And in this situation here, you don't want to just fall asleep, give them a big play and a touchdown.
Well, as you said last week with Oxford Hills, things did not go well, even though they were just controlling the game in the first half.
They were. And then it just started to mount on them. And then Oxford Hills scored 28 points and tied it up. And then they ended up falling behind. So anything can happen.
That's why we play the games.
That's right.
All right, Fryeburg to the line. Arneson looking, throwing deep. And
I think he had it.
Is he in bounds?
Yeah.
I think he is.
Yeah.
Talk about your deep safety.
Man, heck of a play. I think that was Woods, sophomore. I think it was number 8. Drew Lenquist? Who's that, 8?
Well, let's see on the replay. We'll pick it up. So another pick. That is number 8.
Yeah, it was Drew Lenquist. That's a backup quarterback. He makes a good play as a free safety there.
And he was well behind the runner. The receiver was just not there, and they're going to take a knee and just run this quarter out. And I think that makes good sense.
Sure does.
So at the half, it is the Cony Rams 48, the Fryeburg Raiders 7. And we'll see if the Raiders can do what they do very well, and that is adjust. But it is not easy to adjust to a 41-point deficit.
For sure. I mean, this is going to be an uphill battle. But what you want to do is have a good third quarter, like we said, execute well, get yourself back to playing good football. And then, the score right now you just have to put in the back of your mind.
Exactly. You can't think about it. You just have to go out and make the plays.
Right.
And we've got 2 players going off in the cart, and that's number 21 and number 3, the 2 that were injured earlier. So that, as you said, would be a huge loss.
Huge loss going forward, for sure. Yes.
All right, we'll take a break here, and we will be back with second half action in just a few moments.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll have our 50-50 drawing. You can pull your tickets at this time.
All right, Rick West, Matt Berry, Bill Edmonds back with you here for the second half of this. Well, I guess we'll call it a football game, but right now the Fryeburg Raiders have got a lot of work to do to get back into it, as the score is 48-7. Cony. Fryeburg will take the kickoff here. Wilkinson kicking off. Taken by Boone. Gets hit by one man. Gets away, and just too much red getting through.
Yeah, it was a good play. I think it was Ian LaSalle again, 11, who caught Boone just as he was about to hit the hole there and had a lot of space. And he stood him up a bit, and then his teammates came to help out.
And with all the Cony scoring, there hasn't been a lot of kickoffs or punts for Ty Boone to work with. The kickoffs have been deep.
They have been.
Yeah.
They've avoided Boone on the kickoffs for sure.
So Arneson takes the snap, looks, throws over the middle, knocked away by, that is Tenny Tibbetts.
Yeah, Tevy Tibbetts with a good play. Almost made a diving catch there as he jumped the route. He kind of sat back, waited, watched the quarterback's eyes, and had a play on it.
Yeah, and you said earlier in the first half that they were starting to watch that and set up for it, to trying to cut it off.
Yeah, they are.
And I guess I should mention it appears to be running time, but that's not surprising given the score.
Right, 35 and over second half, I think,
Yep.
becomes running time.
It's the first running time game I've done this year, so it didn't occur to me. Another nice tackle by Cony as Fryeburg just manages to get over the line of scrimmage. Mika Stanzo carrying the football. So 3rd and 7 for the Raiders. Had a great chat with my high school friend Buddy Sargent between halves. We graduated together 50 years ago.
Wow.
Hard to believe. Low snap again. Arneson, and it's batted down.
Yeah, he got hit. There was some pressure. Again, another low snap, and it's hard to catch it and then stand up and get your eyes up to the proper people to throw it to, and it kind of delays things, and it's happened several times. And I give Arneson credit. He's been able to handle it some and make some really good plays, but after a while, it's just hard to execute that way.
The kick. Sideways spinning punt, and it's going to land at about the 44-yard line of Cony, and that is where they will take over. So once again, the Raiders unable to move the football against a very strong Ram defense.
Yeah, this is the best I've seen the Rams play defensively this season so far. I mean, there have been some games where they've given up some points and some big plays, but today it was just the one drive for Fryeburg. Other than that, Rams have been really stout on defense. Well, it looks like Drew Lindquist, the backup quarterback, is in for Cony. Number 8.
Number 8. Okay. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the back who was right there, and he's actually going to turn it into a big gain.
Well,
when it goes well, it goes well.
I guess so. I mean, the snap kind of eluded the quarterback. Colby picks it right up off the ground and runs after it. And there was really no pressure from Fryeburg, interestingly enough. I don't know what happened there.
And he managed to pick up a first down. So when a night goes well for you, it just goes really well. And that is what the Rams are experiencing right now. Handoff, and nice tackle, but a gain of about 5. taken down by Brady Chalmers.
Nolan Noyes actually ran that one. That's Anderson Noyes' brother.
Oh,
so that's it's in the family.
Family thing. Hey, okay. Second and call it a long 5. Oh, this time Fryeburg comes in and breaks up the play big time.
Yeah, that was quite a play coming into the backfield, and he really got tossed to the ground.
Yeah, I was almost waiting for the flag.
Yeah,
you
it looked
too?
a little excessive, but
frustrations for Fryeburg
sure,
right now must
sure.
be building.
Sure. I mean, they're high school kids, and they're going to get frustrated, and Nolan Noyes took the brunt of that. Thankfully, he's okay.
Quick pass, complete. That was Ben Allen on the reception. First time we've called his name tonight.
The second stringers are definitely in there on offense, but Cony has a good program with a lot of depth, and they're able to throw the ball and run the playbook just as well as the first stringers would.
Oh, when you got a lead like this one, there's no gain by playing your regulars other than the potential of them getting hurt.
Right.
Not that you want the second stringers to get hurt, but if you can rest your regulars, do so. Mm-hmm. Rolling out, throwing, cross body, and a completed pass for the touchdown. I'm waiting to see who comes out of that pack.
It was quite a throw from Drew Lindquist, the backup quarterback, about a 40-yard touchdown throw, and along the sideline across his body. Really good throw.
It was a great throw. I think it was number 20, Brady Noftal.
Oh, Brady Noftal with a catch. Okay.
And they go for 2, and they do not get in. So Fryeburg holds there.
Now sophomore to sophomore, and the completion and the second stringers, just like the first stringers, get a big play for the passing game.
Oh, that certainly bodes well for the future.
It sure does. Sure does. The noticeable difference between Morin and Lindquist, though, is Lindquist is pretty undersized as a quarterback, so it might be a challenge at times for him to throw over the line and see over the line, but he's a good athlete. He's a real smart kid. He's a good athlete, good player. Played basketball for me last season. A type of player you can trust, does the right thing. So future's bright for Cony.
Kick taken on the hop. I believe that might be number 11 for the Raiders, Gunnar Johnston. So Johnson comes up with a nice little return on that.
Good special teams tackle from Carter Ritke on that play. They've had, Cony's done some pretty good things on coverage, kick coverage, and open field tackling.
And I'm seeing some numbers coming in for Fryeburg that we don't see all the time, too. So it looks like maybe Coach Turner has said, all right, let's get some of our backups in and save our people.
Right.
Quarterback is River Hinchcliffe, number 12. That is probably the first time I have ever called his name.
Well, it's a good opportunity to play on Friday night under the lights.
Yep.
Usually you play on Monday afternoon, and this is a chance to play in front of the crowd and give you a taste.
There were many years when Fryeburg didn't have enough kids to have a JV team to play on a Monday.
Sure. It was a good sign. I saw 42 on the roster. That's
Yep,
a good number.
they've been solid for the last 6 or 7 years with numbers. Man in motion. He'll take the football. That is Nickerson, and Nickerson thrown hard for a loss. Never got to turn that corner.
It's like Will Wardwell, as a freshman, made the tackle there. Good play in pursuit.
This is one of the fun things about games like this, and believe me, they're not fun to broadcast for the most part, is seeing the young kids get in there and get a chance to play.
Right.
Out wide is Chalmers. Hinchcliffe throws. Nobody's home. Throw too far ahead.
Showed a decent arm there, so that was a good throw, just a little long.
Yeah, the Raiders have not been in any games this year where they really could put in the second line.
Right. And that's something about Cony. They've had at least 3 games where they've put in some of the second stringers and given them some time. So.
And we beat Skowhegan first game of the season, but only by a few touchdowns. Then we played Mount Blue as a 15-0 game. So, and then played a New Hampshire team, Laconia. And that was different. Punt here, gets it away, takes a big bounce.
Looks like you get a roughing the kicker, though, a penalty on Cony.
You might be right. Yeah, the Maine and New Hampshire over the last, 5 years or so have had a kind of cross-border thing going, and it's dropped down now into Class B, which it hadn't previously. So we played Laconia, which is a town about, 50 miles south of Fryeburg, across the line. And Laconia owned that game for the first half. So, again, the Raiders didn't really get to do much with the second liners in the second half. They had to play it. They did win it, but. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing new numbers for everybody out there.
Might have too many for Fryeburg.
Hustling off.
Yeah, you got it.
Just getting outside. Nice tackle. I think it might have been Connor Keaton that made that tackle coming across. So 2nd and 7 for Cony. We are in running time. This third quarter is about to run out. Ball's on the ground. Oh, picks up the nice bounce, but he's in trouble. Gets it away. And it was caught. Quarterback to quarterback as Parker Morin caught that one in the sidelines.
Yeah. Good play by Lindquist. He dropped the ball and then was able to get out behind the numbers and throw it out of bounds.
The bounce came right up to him. He was lucky.
The beauty of the turf.
Yep. Yeah, clean bounces. Fryeburg, of course, has put in a new field in the last 3 years. They have a beautiful new turf facility. And for years and years, they were a Saturday afternoon team. But now they've got a beautiful Friday night facility, and maybe the Rams will come there next year.
Yeah, maybe. The whole point of Friday night, and they did it in Massachusetts too. I'm from Massachusetts, and back in the day when they went to Friday nights, the whole point was to try to get the big crowds, but it did take away a little bit of the Saturday afternoon, getting together with the community on a nice day.
There was a lot of feeling in Fryeburg about changing from Saturdays to Fridays, and it got a little contentious at times.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
But in some things you have to move with the times, and there are other
Sometimes.
teams involved that
Right.
have to make adjustments to
Sure.
travel, and so yeah. All right, here we are, fourth quarter getting underway. Rams, 3rd and about 7, and incomplete. Intended target was Landon Perry. No, Nolan Noyes. I take that back. It was Nolan Noyes.
The problem now with the new schedule for Fryeburg is that you have long rides
Oh.
on Friday nights. So you don't have the crowd. Like, if you look across the way,
And-
there's 5 people there.
And Fryeburg usually travels very, very well.
Yeah, so that makes it hard for families.
It does. Rolling out, looking, letting it go. Incomplete. He didn't miss him by much.
No. It's a good throw on the run. Sailed about 30 yards in the air and just missed him.
Miguel Oliva was on coverage for the Raiders. I think that's the first time I've called his name this year.
And now Fryeburg gets a chance with a short field.
Of course, Fryeburg isn't just a public high school. It's a private school as well,
Sure.
have dorm students. But over the years, dorm students have not played much football.
Right. Right.
Last 3 or 4 years, we've had some kids come over from Europe and Israel, even Japan. Nice play to keep that. This is Hinchcliffe, and Hinchcliffe turns the corner and gets a few yards out of that. But, yeah, the last 3 or 4 years, we've had some incoming dorm students. They don't come for the football. They come for the education. But,
Sure.
you know, there are European, English, and Israeli football programs
Nice.
that are, you know, pretty good. And they just decided to play football while they were here and made a big difference.
No, it's great. I mean, that's a good little outlet for them to have with the with the students who come over from overseas.
Handoff for the Raiders. I think that was Will Wardwell making the tackle. So 3rd and 3 for the Raiders here. Hinchcliffe operating, rolling out, and he's going to get taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Nice pursuit there. McManus.
Yeah, Regan McManus, a senior, actually made a play earlier too. It's a chance for some of the seniors too who don't get to play a lot, have spent some time in the program, give them a chance to play in a homecoming, which is nice for them. That looked like a read option play where Hinchcliffe kept it, and it was good pursuit from McManus.
Jake Mano, number 22, is the back for the Raiders. Hinchcliffe throws. He's got a man, and just a little bit over the fingers of Axel Moore. Freshman Axel Moore was almost going to be able to say, I got one tonight,
He
Mom and
almost
Dad.
had one. He almost had one. That's a play where if you zip it in there, he might have it. But he kind of floated it, and he had to leap for it. Couldn't make the catch. But if he zips it in there, he might have been up the seam for a touchdown.
He's actually, even as a freshman, one of the taller kids
Is he?
that Fryeburg has. And you're right, he had to kind of leap up for that and just couldn't haul it in. Hustling off is Rutger Daigle. Cony takes over on downs.
That was a good play by 70 in the middle of that interior line.
That would have been Logan Anderson.
Yeah, nice play by Anderson.
Sophomore.
He jumped it into the backfield, made the play.
I'm enjoying getting to watch some of these kids that, I see them on the bench every game,
Right,
but I
right.
never get to see them play.
Right. Must be a real thrill to get a whole half on a varsity game under the lights.
I
mean,
agree.
Our coach just set the school record for most wins, 58.
Rolling out down the sidelines and finally knocked out of bounds.
Well, Drew Lindquist, the backup quarterback, that's the one thing he has. He has real tremendous speed.
Good wheels.
He does. He's a smaller kid, but he can run. And he went right around the end and took it all the way for a big, big gain up the sideline.
And we were talking about it but at halftime. Your coach just set quite the Cony record.
He did. He's the all-time winningest coach in Cony history, B.L. Lippert, with 59 wins now. Lip has done a great job with this program. It's run like a program should be run. They have good numbers every year. They play good football that's fun to watch and does a great job.
And handoff, and Raiders making a pretty hard tackle there, but again, I think there's some frustration.
Sure.
That was Nolan Noyes running.
And Coach Lippert's dad's on the staff, too. I'm sure it's a real thrill. He's been a huge influence on BL, and football's in the family there. It's something they really live and breathe. And
kind of like Gardner with the Munzings.
Sure, absolutely.
Very. I never had Rob Munzing as a teacher. He was in the junior high system, but my wife did.
Oh, okay.
He says she still owes him a paper.
Ah.
I run into Rob every now and again as he's around the state with his video work.
He does, yeah, he does.
Pickup of about 3. 4:40 left. Clock is running. 53-7. Cony's backups have put points on the board. Fryeburg's yet to do so. Rolling out, getting away. Oh, nice tackle right there.
Very nice tackle. 25. Really came up in pursuit. Lindquist can really run, and he ran him down.
And that is number 88 for Fryeburg, and he is not on my roster.
88.
Well, I apologize for number 88 not being on my roster, but we will find out before next week who that is. And they did teach me to write it, Gardner, so I can write it in.
Okay, good.
Noise. No. Tackle by Axel Moore on Noise.
Good tough run by Noise. He was spinning and dragging him across.
Of course, when you whip him around for another 3 yards, that's not such a good thing.
No. You want to take him down. Tackle by the legs. I mean, do they still teach that? Sometimes I don't think so.
I don't think so. 3 minutes left here in the fourth between Cony and the Fryeburg Raiders. This is going to be a keeper. Lindquist knocked out of bounds by Miguel Oliva.
Something tells me next year you're going to see a lot of design runs with Drew Lindquist as a quarterback of Cony.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
I think so. That's the one dimension that he might even have over Morin, who can run well too. He's a good athlete, but Lindquist can really fly.
It's always a plus and a weapon when you've got a quarterback that can do more than just stand back there and throw the football.
Absolutely.
Lindquist hands off. And nothing doing that time as Fryeburg pursues very nicely. Brady Chalmers and Jake Mano on the tackle there. Third and 1. Minute 30 left. Looks like Cony's going to maintain possession of the football for the remainder of this football game. Ball's on the ground, but picked up nicely. Unfortunately, it's as far as it's going to get.
Yeah. There's been some trouble handling the ball from Lindquist a little bit. Dropped the ball just for no reason at one point. And some of the snaps he's fumbled. He's going to shore that up for next season for sure.
Well, as I said earlier, and you've seen examples of, Fryeburg has snap problems occasionally.
They do.
And it definitely disrupts the timing of some of their plays.
And when you don't throw it a ton and now you want to be in shotgun every play, you got to really practice it. And really, Cony does it all the time. So their snaps are good for the most part in the first string.
This will probably be the last play of the game. Ball's poorly snapped again as we talk about it. Lindquist gets outside and is brought down hard by number 11, Gunnar Johnson.
That should do it.
And I think that is going to do it as Johnson knocks Lindquist out of bounds. Which no doubt pleases our videographer. So, in a battle of the unbeatens, both teams came in here 4-0. One team was going to lose, and that team was the Fryeburg Raiders tonight as Cony really showed their stuff.
They did. They showed their high-powered offense, and their defense played as well as I've seen them play this year. And if they do that all year, they're a real state title contender for sure.
So right now, Cony is atop Class B North. They are the number 1 team. It came in here 2 teams at that spot, and now Cony owns it.
They do, and they had some injuries tonight, so we'll take a look in the coming weeks. Ethan Demmons, Anderson Noyes.
Neither of whom played in the second half.
No, neither played, and both had ankle injuries, it looked like, so that's something to keep an eye on for them. The only thing that can really hurt them is injuries, so we'll see what happens.
Now, do you know their schedule the rest of the way?
I know they play, I want to say they play maybe Lawrence. They play Gardner at the end always.
Always.
But I think that Fryeburg and Oxford Hills were 2 of the games that they really circled. So I think the rest of the way that they really have a chance to run the table and head into the playoffs undefeated.
I believe we have Lawrence on the schedule along with Brunswick and Falmouth.
Brunswick and Falmouth, okay.
We're at Falmouth. The other 2 are at home.
Yeah, Falmouth is good. The defending state champions. Spencer Emerson's the coach there. He does a great job. Brunswick I saw play Cony. They have a really good senior running back, but they're a younger team.
They had some problems a few years ago.
They've been trying to. They went to 8-man. Then they went back to 11. They've been having troubles with numbers, so I think that's a game that Fryeburg will get. The Falmouth game will be a tough one for sure.
All right. Well, Matt, you did a great job.
Thanks,
I'll
Rick.
be glad to
it.
work with you anytime.
Sure.
Give me a call if you need somebody over here.
Sure, absolutely.
So there you have it.
My pleasure doing it.
Bill Edmonds on camera. First time Bill's been out in the field for quite some time, and as he would be quick to point out, the last time was a loss by a Kennett team. He doesn't seem to have a lot of luck going with him.
No.
And he mentioned that coming in. All right, and again, big thanks to Buddy Sergeant, who really helped out and set this up for us. And we'll go from there. Buddy, a great classmate of mine and a big Cony supporter.
For sure.
And Parker Sergeant, of course, great player for Cony in a lot of different sports. 1,000-point scorer, basketball.
1,000 points, and basketball has a record for touchdowns and yards in a season for Cony football as well.
There you have it.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, thank you again.
Sure, thanks.
Bill, great job. And we will see you again next week on Fryeburg Academy Raider Football.